Hello, my name is Michał, and in today's tip of the week I'm going to show you my post-production process based on the Arch Exterior 19 scene. In this tutorial we're going to take a look on the Photoshop layer management, tweaking, and some cool fancy Photoshop tricks, even the rain layer. So I hope you will find this one helpful, and see you in Photoshop. At first I'm going to introduce you to the layers we're going to work with. These layers were rendered thanks to the Renders Element tab in 3ds Max. The first of them is the alpha channel. As you can see, we have two colors here, the white one and the black color. This is used to swap your background, swap your sky, very useful later. The another one is the basic raw image. It's the output you get from your program. The another one is the reflection layer. It's very good to tweak your reflections later on in Photoshop, and this pass helps you a lot. The other one is the refraction, the same here. As you can see, every refractive object in the scene, every refractive material has its representation here, and it's used to tweak the refractions. The other one is the speculars. We're going to use it to tweak the speculars. And the last one is the V-Ray Z-Depth. Basically, it's used to get this depth of field filling in Photoshop in your shot, and also it can be very helpful because you can use it as a mask or as a blending layer. The first thing to do is to sharpen the image, but we won't use the standard filter option from Photoshop. Instead we're going to duplicate the layer. Let's rename it. We're going to desaturate the layer by using the hotkeys combination Ctrl Shift and U, and use the high pass filter. And remember, as long as the radius is lower than 1, it's okay. Then blend the layer to overlay. As you can see, the image got sharper. Of course, we don't want the whole image to be sharp. To achieve that, we're going to give it a mask. Choose this icon here and some standard soft brush, the black color, and let's say the opacity 90 is okay. We're going to mask some spots here. For example, here, the street, the sidewalk. We don't want to get it as sharpened as we can because it looks like noise sometimes. We don't want that to happen. And don't forget about the building. When you click without on your mask, you're gonna see the painted area. Okay, I think we're done for now. The another thing we're getting care of is the reflection layer. As you can see, you need to blend it. Go to the screen mode. Observe how the image got brighter. We don't want it to be bright like this, so we're going to mask some places also. The drill is the same. Choose a brush, choose the color, and paint it. Shall we change the opacity? Let's see how's that going. Okay, I think we can leave it like this. Let's take a look at the reflection layer again. Maybe we should change the opacity. Maybe something like this is better. Now we are going to use the specular layer. We should blend it to screen. As you can see, the speculars got highlighted. Of course, we don't want it to be this much, so let's mask it, but we'll use the bucket. As you can see, everything is masked black, so you can't see the speculars anymore. But now we are going to use the gradient tool, of course the transparent one, and invert the colors. So when you do it, you're gonna see some speculars highlighted. A lot of things in post-production depends on the mood you want to achieve, and it's about your feeling. I mean, there's no rights or wrongs as long as the image is looking okay. So okay, the another layer we are going to use is the refraction layer. Let's blend it to screen. See what happens. All the glass props in the scene are highlighted. Of course, we're going to reduce the opacity. Let's say something like this, and we are going to give it a little bloom. Duplicate the layer. Let's rename it bloom and use the Gaussian blue option. As you can see, there is this bloomy light coming through the windows, and it's a good thing. It always looks nice on your renders. And maybe we should reduce the opacity also. Oh, or maybe we'll leave it like 100%. And now we are going to give it a little bit more saturation. Use the hue saturation option, and let's give it something like 26. Okay, and we're going to mask it also. So let's use the bucket tool, the black color. Now use the brush or maybe the gradient again. Invert the colors and use it. As you can see, the saturation appears only the places we want it to appear. And here, maybe also here. Okay, let's check it. Maybe let's push it 69, 70, something like this. And I get the feeling the windows are too saturated, so maybe reduce it. Just reverse the colors. Maybe reduce the opacity. And I think it looks okay. The whole image looks pretty cool now, but I think we should do something with the color balance because it gets too yellow in this area here. So choose the color balance and let's give it some blue tint, maybe 12 or something, and also we can mask it. Use the gradient, reverse the color, and use it. Okay, I think it's much better this way. And now it's time to give our image a vignette. My way of doing it is to get a new layer. I'll change the color to 128 gray. Use the bucket, and I will go to the distort and lens collection options. I will apply a vignette, -50 in my case, and overlay it. As you can see, we got darker corners, but we don't want it to be dark, so we're going to mask some places. Use the standard soft brush and masks the spots you want to make lighter. Okay, maybe reduce the opacity and remember to name it. Okay, now I'm going to give it more contrast by using this little trick of mine. Duplicate your layers and convert them to smart object, rasterize the image. Okay, this is duplicated, and I want to give it some contrast and also some color tint. Let's rename it and let's duplicate it again. I'll go to the filters, render, lighting effects, and I'm going to get an omni light and maybe a spotlight. We'll see. Maybe a spotlight. Something like this. Let's see how that's gonna work. And choose some bluish kinda color, something like this. Okay, let's see what happens. Now we need to blend this color. Go to the overlay and go to 15, maybe 20. As you can see, you got contrast and this bluish tint. And again, we're going to mask it. I don't want it to be blue in some spots, like maybe here. It should be yellow. Here, here, and here. Also the windows. I think the mood is better. Every post-production is kind of a cheat, and we're going to cheat here also. We're going to achieve this kind of atmospheric tinty effect. Let's call the new layer bloom, fade bloom, and choose the round gradient, transparent one, with this kind of bluish color. Apply it and give it the screen mode. Reduce the transparency and also reduce the size of our gradient. Copy it again and change its size to make it bigger. Let's reduce the opacity of the first one. And maybe get the upper one a little bigger, like this. I think it sits good. Now we are going to use the Z-depth mask to give our image a little color tweaking. Let's go to the color, to the hue and saturation options, and let's copy this one to the hue and saturation. So now the Z-depth is the mask for the hue and saturation. As you can see, when we saturate the image, the saturation appears only in the white places. And as long as you have this cool and smooth gradient, it looks natural. And of course, you can invert your Z-depth layer. And we're going to invert it, but we're going to change the saturation to something like maybe 32. And now we're going to use the alpha channel to change the saturation of our sky. As you can see, we have this bluish kind of sky. I don't like it. I want it to be more white, desaturated, and to do that we're going to copy the alpha channel, give the hue and saturation effect, and make the alpha channel work as a mask. But be aware that the saturation works only on the white spots, so we need to invert the mask. To do that, use the Ctrl and I shortcut. And now, when you use the saturation option, it only affects the sky. So I'm going to desaturate it like -40 and give it a little bit lightness like +5. I have this trick about faking the atmospheric effects using the Z-depth mask. So I will try to achieve this fog here. So we'll copy the Z-depth and we'll rename it like fog. We will copy it again and get a mask and paste the same layer into the mask, but invert it. You get something like this, but when you blend it to screen, you get this fog. So remember to use the opacity to make it work for you. One of the last things I want to do is to change the contrast. So go to the brightness and contrast and give it a little bit more contrast. Let's say 21. Let's see how that looks. Much better. And let's go to the beginning of our fast processing and see what changes we did. As you can see, it's a huge change, and a good post-production is a half of your success. The last thing we do, we are going to copy the vignette again on the top of the stack and see how that looking together. The left side is okay, but the right side is too dark, so use the gradient and mask it. Another thing I want to do is to copy the sharpen layer, but under the vignette, and change its opacity to 50%. So I think our post-production is almost ready. The last thing I want to show you is how to make the rain. It's quite simple. Make a new layer. Let's name it rain. Go to the bucket tool and use it. Remember to have one color black and the opposite white. Use it. Go to filter and the render fibers. Variance it's max and strength is something like 16. Okay. Now resize it and let's rotate it like this. It doesn't look like rain yet, but it will be, don't worry. And change its blending to screen. Oh no, first go to the blur and use the motion blur. Try to find the suitable angle. Oh, I think something like between 62 and 65. Let's try 63 and the strength something like 42. Okay, now blend the layer to screen and use levels on it. So now adjust it. It's starting to look like rain. And now we can change the opacity of our base rain channel and give it a little masking. So change the opacity to 48 or 50 and we can even copy this and change its size to something much smaller, like this, and try to fit it. Okay, and mask it so it doesn't look the same. Okay, we can make a separate folder for the rain and place it there. And the rain is ready. We can try to play and make better masking, but it depends on you. So this is our final image. I hope you can tell the difference. As I said before, good post-processing skills can help you, because even a poor render can be tweaked in Photoshop, and it's good to know the ways how to do it. I hope you found this knowledge useful. I am Michał from Evermotion. Thank you for your time and see you in the next tip of the week.